Tales from the wild. Stories from the heart. A journey into the mind and soul of fired-up business professionals where they share their vision for the future. And hear from a different non-profit organization every month as they create awareness of their goals and their needs. Dive into a world of untamed passion as we join our host, Shireen Buerta, for this month's episode of Friends from Wild Places.
You know, talking about that, right? You're a mentor for the next generation of law enforcement, lawyers and criminologists through Alpha Phi Sigma, I think you mentioned. Given how chaotic and divided the world feels right now, what is giving you the most hope about the students entering the justice system today?
Okay. Well, as a advisor for Alpha Phi Sigma, which is a criminal justice honor society, I get to see the best and the brightest of the students because they have to have a 3.2 GPA in order to be considered for membership in that. So with that, I groom leaders. I groom individuals who know what they want and are ready to go out there and make a difference in the world. And what I'm seeing is the students, they know what the issues are. They know what the issues are. They know what needs to be done. They know what's at stake. And many of them, and not being, pie in the sky unicorn thinking, they know it's going to be an uphill battle in changing institutions, just them themselves. But they understand that they can bring about a change on an individual basis. By being a different kind of officer, by being a different kind of criminal justice professional. And I give my example when I was, I think, a week on the job, I was shadowing a senior probation officer. She was training me. And all week long, I'm following, I'm taking notes. And then, I think it was like on a Thursday or Friday, she said, okay, now you're ready. The next person that comes in, you take over, right? So like, okay, I could do this, right? So I sat there and I interviewed him and it went well, right? So my day ended and I'm getting ready to go home and I'm standing on the platform of the A train and I turn around and I look and I see somebody that looks familiar to me, but no one should look familiar to me because this is my first time in this area, right? It was an area of Brooklyn. So why is anybody looking familiar to me? So I realized that this person that looks familiar to me, I've seen this person, I interviewed this person earlier that morning, like 9:00 in the morning, and interviewed him. It's now 4:00 in the afternoon. And it was like a light bulb went off. And I said, oh, wow. If I didn't recognize him and he recognized me, and I was just a sour type of individual, really nasty, right? Could he have pushed me off the platform? Right? Because he wanted to get back at me for being such a nasty probation officer. And that point, ladies, that is what triggered in me that I said, I can't be nasty. I need to be a respectable probation officer. I need to respect these individuals who are coming in. Many of them have made bad decisions, but that does not negate their humanity. They're still human. And they still deserve a measure of respect, regardless of what I think about what they did. I've had sex offenders on my caseload. I've had people who robbed, people who assaulted, people who stole stuff. Regardless of who's coming in before me, I give them a measure of respect, right? That's due them because I'm a professional. And this is what I drill into my students, regardless of what you see out there in the field. Be the professional. That's how we bring about change, because you see a lot of times now that there are some law enforcement professionals out there who are not professional. So I drill into them that you need to be professional all the time, regardless of what they've done. Regardless, I mean, I've had sex offenders, I mean, molesting babies, regardless of what they've done, be a professional. And I think they understand that, and they realize that in order to bring about a change in an institution that's very slow to change, it's like how do you, make a battleship U-turn, right? It's going to be a slow U-turn, right? So they realize that change has to begin with them, right? Once they can hold on to their ethics, once they can hold on to their professionalism, change will happen, but they have to hold on to it. They have to hold on to it. So yeah, a lot of them say, yes, I want to do it because, this is what I believe in. This is the change I want. And I tell them the realities of it as well.
Sure. Thank you, Nancy. Isn't that beautiful? Wow.
Yeah.
Tanya, do you want to ask Nancy anything else before we move on to the nonprofit?
Yes, actually, well, I have two questions, Nancy. So one is, so in hearing your work, your day-to-day, like either, previous before you got into academia, now that you're a professor, let me just project. It seems like, it's a very heavy topic at times, dealing with the types of cases, the types of people, the types of offenders, all these situations. How do you escape from that? Like, what do you do in your spare time or free time, or what brings you joy, just to see the good in you people, as opposed to all the criminals out there and, like all the things going bad? Like, what sparks joy in Nancy?
Hanging out with my girlfriends spark joy. Volunteering sparks joy. I'm usually, if I'm not teaching or in the classroom somewhere, somehow, I am volunteering. And that recharges my battery because now I get to give back to society. I get to give back to my community, and that uplifts me. So whether it be unhoused advocacy, whether it be Feeding South Florida, whether it be making strides against breast cancer, I'm out there giving back, and then that recharges me. And so then I could come back into the classroom and say, okay, guys, let's go again, right? And also hanging out with my friends, one-on-one, just, venting and just being encouraged and just receiving love and light. And that recharges me.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. So, and along your journey, Nancy, has there been any like trials or tribulations that maybe you could share with your listeners? I don't know, any personal challenges, health challenges, anything that's kind of come your way that maybe, like you had to stop for a moment. And if so, how did you overcome that, or through it, I should say, if anything?
Sure. Currently, I am a 15-year breast cancer survivor. Warrior, I like to say, and that stopped me in my tracks. It really did stop me in my tracks. What I've learned from it is that I need to take better care of myself, and I have been on that journey of self-care ever since, because I think I was putting everything and everyone before myself. I was putting my marriage before myself. I was putting, my career before myself. I was putting everything before myself. And that did not allow me to take the time to really take care of my health. And that's partly why I'm part of the Making Strides for Breast Cancer, because I wanted other women to understand that it's necessary, it's important, it's imperative that you stop and listen to your body and heal your body and heal your spirit with good food, good nutrition, exercise, go outside and walk, right? There's so many research that says that going for a walk not only heals the mind, but it also heals the body. Just go for a walk, go outside, go to the beach, go to the forest, go to a park, right? And understand your body, understand yourself so that you can be able to give, right? So we can't give from an empty cup. Our cup has to be full first, right? In order for us to give. But many of us are giving from empty cups, and we women suffer the most from it because our cup is empty. We don't have anything there to sustain us, and our health suffers greatly.
Yeah, yeah. It was interesting that you mentioned that because you did mention the strides against breast cancer. In what capacity did you how did you find them to either like to volunteer back? For example, like did you find them while you were going through your journey yourself and then you started like how did that where was that connection or
It was after I think once I came out the shots that I had to go through all of that. And I was okay. I said, okay, now it's time that I am a shock. I can now talk about this traumatic event that has happened to me. So now I'm able to help other women. I went to an open house in 2018, I believe it was. I did a walk in 2017 and I went to an open house in 2018 where they were looking for volunteers. And I've been volunteering ever since. I am currently now the volunteer lead. So if you want to volunteer, right, for events, the Day of Walk, which in Broward is going to be October 17th. I'm the volunteer lead. I collect all the volunteers. I put them in place. We have fun. We're out there with, upwards of 20,000 people, just all there for the same mindset, and which is to find a cure for breast cancer.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah,
and I like the warrior. I like the warrior name.
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy. And yes, we have talking about the nonprofit now. You suggested two of them, and we've supported the breast cancer or just the Cancer Society. So this time around, we'd really like to support feedingsouthflorida.org. If you don't mind just taking some time, and listeners will have all that information in the show notes or the donation links or whatever the case may be needed will be in the show notes. But Nancy, would you mind just sharing with us, a little bit more about the actual organization and what it does for the community, and then how we can help?
Okay, so Feeding South Florida, I stumbled upon Feeding South Florida, but I am so glad that I did. Their mission speaks to my heart because there are so many individuals who are they're lacking resources. They're lacking food, right? So they're food insecure. Miami-Dade College happens to be in a food desert. And a food desert is an area where there is no supermarkets within walking distance or within a mile, right? So many of our communities are like that. Right. So we have these food deserts. Many people, because they've lost their jobs, are food insecure. So Feeding South Florida is able to provide families with an opportunity to receive social service resources as well as food. Every dollar, I believe, is able to feed or provide 4 meals that Feeding South Florida is able. And any disaster, hurricane, floods, Feeding South Florida is out there. They're able to provide meals, hot meals, bagged lunches, bagged meals. They're also able to give support to families who maybe, didn't think that they would be in a position, right? Many of us, the economic status has changed a lot in society, and Feeding South Florida is able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Making strides for breast cancer. If anyone, many of us have been affected by some sort of cancer, right? And many women, I believe the statistics is 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed at some point in their lifetime with breast cancer. It does not only affect women, but also men can be diagnosed with breast cancer as well. Self-checking is very important. Do your monthly, bi-weekly self-check. If anything seems off with your body, be your advocate, right? Regardless of your age. Many times, women go undiagnosed because they say, oh, no, you're too young for breast cancer, right? Be your advocate. Shout from the ceiling, shout from the rooftop. There's something wrong here. Men, just because you're a man, you can be diagnosed with breast cancer. Feel, touch, know your body, know what it looks like, know what it feels like. So it's very important. We're the Making Strides for Breast Cancer Awareness Walk happens in Miami-Dade. It happens in Broward. And it happens in Palm Beach County, and all states have some form of Making Strides for Breast Cancer. We're looking for a cure. Our goal for Broward this year is $1 million. I believe that we can raise $1 million. We got close last year, in the 800,000 range. So the websites are there. Click on it. You can support. Your donations are greatly appreciated. Know that with these two organizations, upwards of 90% of your donation goes to actual research or goes to the actual people who are being served in the community. It does not go to overhead. That's over 90%.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. So listeners, if you have some time, go look at the show notes, click on the links, go check it out, find some more information on those organizations, and take the time to donate and help somebody. Help somebody. It's really goes a long way. A little does go a long way. So with that, let's get into the little bit more light-hearted part of the podcast. So we're going to play a little bit of a game, Nancy. Today's game will be 2 truths and a lie. So basically, each person will mention 2 truths about themselves. It can be anything. And then they will sneak in 1 lie, and the other 2 will figure out which one is the lie. So with that, who would like to go first?
I have to put one together. Hold on a second.
I'm like, uh-oh.
All right.
Truth, sir. Gotta come up with a lie here. So
okay, let me go ahead then. Let me go first. So, I have 1 sister and a brother. I walked 900 kilometers through Portugal and Spain consecutively, just walked straight through. And I was born in Africa, right, which is the lie.
wow. What do you think, Nancy? You go first.
The lie, the 900 kilometers.
Okay. Tanya, what do you think?
I mean, it's funny when you said that you were born in Africa. I think you were, but I'm not 100% that. And the siblings, I'm just kind of mixed up at the moment. So I'm gonna go with the siblings.
Okay. So the lie is Nancy's correct, is 900 kilometers. It was only it was only 768 kilometers. So I added a few hundred kilometers to that. So that's the lie. But yes, I was born in Africa, and yes, I have a brother and a sister.
What is it? Okay. You know what's so funny, Shireen? You always throw me off with the kilometers because I don't know kilometers. Every time she's doing it saying about the degrees, I can't reference anything. My brain just does not work in that capacity. So, all right, fair enough, Shireen. Fair enough. That's good.
Awesome.
Okay. All right. I'll go next. Okay. So let's see. I do Pilates. I've traveled to Italy, and I love Mexican food.
Oh, that's really hard.
I'm gonna jeez. I'm gonna say you don't like Mexican food. That's the lie.
How about you, Nancy?
I'm gonna say the Pilates.
Okay, so actually Shireen is correct. I am not a big fan of Mexican food. I go to Mexico, but there's certain when we say Mexican food in the US, it's not my top choice. So yes, I know
Okay.
I've been doing Pilates for probably 10 months, maybe now, Nancy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Awesome.
always trying to, as you said, self-care, try to improve flexibility, stretchability. So yeah.
Very
All right.
important.
Good
Very
job.
important.
All right,
Nancy.
Nancy, let's hear from you.
I made people jump out of windows. I was a gymnast. I have a brother that lives in Brooklyn.
What was the first one? You helped people jump out of windows?
I made people jump out of windows.
You made people jump out of windows. I
was a gymnast.
Yeah.
I have a brother in Brooklyn.
I'm going to say the first one. I'm going to say you made people jump out of windows is the lie.
Okay.
I'm just going to go with the second. I don't know if the gymnast, I'm not sure. I'll just say that one.
I don't look athletic. What are you saying?
No. No, that's no. We're just
right. So the lie, Tanya, is I was not a gymnast.
Okay.
I was not.
It has nothing to do with luck, Nancy. It has nothing to do with luck. You are a beautiful,
I know.
Whether you are a gymnast or not.
I did. People jumped out the window. All right. Whether I made them, yeah. As a fraud investigator, I had to go door to door, looking for fraud, anytime they saw me coming, hear me coming, saw my badge, some people would jump out the window. And they would go because they know they were about to be caught. So instead of being caught, many of them just left and they left out the window.
Wow, that's funny. But that's like that should be like the title of your book. I don't know if you've written a book, but that could be one of the titles of the book.
I agree. Listeners, thank you so much for joining us. I'm so sad to say we've come to the end of our podcast, but we're just going to take some time. This is the time when if you really are inspired or you have any questions for us and you want to reach out to any of us, we're going to just take a moment now and let you know some of the places you can contact us. So Nancy, do you want to let the listeners know where they can find you?
I'm on LinkedIn. If you type in Nancy Alleyne, it'll pop right up. Hit me up. I would love to connect with you on LinkedIn.
Nice. Tanya?
Sure. Same place, also on LinkedIn. And just to give a shout out. So I am a full-time professor at Miami-Dade College in the funeral service education program. So if anybody's interested in learning more about that, I also serve as a senior placement specialist, matching people with communities who can no longer live alone. The most popular population that I do work with is usually the Alzheimer's, Lewy body dementia, cerebrovascular dementia. So I cover the east and west coast of Florida. There's no charge to utilize my service. We get paid directly by the community if we make a match. And lastly, I serve as an expert witness quite regularly for funeral home and cemetery cases. So if anybody has any issues, either it could be an attorney or a family, whatever side, I'm happy to serve as long as I'm speaking for the voiceless. And how about you, Shireen?
Awesome. Thank you, ladies. Yes, you can find me on LinkedIn. Instagram and Facebook. Shireen's bookkeeping is also found on each of those socials, as well as LinkedIn. Friends from Wild Places, this is why you've come. You can find us on all the live streams, Deezer, Apple iTunes, Spotify, anywhere you can stream your podcasts or your music. You just have to search for Friends from Wild Places and then you'll find us. We're also on YouTube, so if you want to see our faces and hear us, you can go there. Please leave a message. Tell us what you think. Leave a review. We really appreciate your feedback. Well, we do have a website, which is friendsfromwildplaces.buzzsprout.com. That's friendsfromwildplaces.buzzsprout.com. You can find us there as well. And with that, thank you so much for listening. And remember, you got this, and stay wild. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.
You've been listening to Friends from Wild Places with Shireen Bueta. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast from the links to catch every episode and unleash your passion.